Welcome back to the shop. I'm Brian, and have you ever had a problem with your SRAM hydraulic disc brakes? Like the brake lever wouldn't release? Stick with me today and I'll kind of explain what might be going on with yours. Alright, so I've got a Motobecane Sturgis 26-inch fat tire bike, and the rear brakes were kind of hanging up the other day, and I had some issue with the brake lever, and that is the reason why I'm having trouble with the rear brake. So let me show you kind of what's going on here. Anyhow, I was getting the Motobecane ready to start riding it, start taking it out, check the tires, checked everything, shifting, make sure everything's tightened up. Had some loose components on here, but then I went ahead and I took it out, rode it a couple times around, and it didn't have any problems. It was doing fine. And then yesterday I went to move it in the shop, and it sounded like the brakes were kind of dragging. You're making that noise, you know. And so I checked out the front, and I looked. I was like, you know what? It's not the front. Front's working fine. So I checked the rear, and lo and behold, the rear was hung up. The rear caliper was hung up, and like it would barely move. Like, so I tore apart the caliper. I removed the caliper off of the bracket and off of the frame, cleaned up inside, and pushed the pistons back. It was spinning freely. It's got a little bit of drag right now. The caliper's not quite perfect, but so yesterday I get it all put back together and set. It's spinning fairly free. Just rubbing a little bit, but I came up here to check, well, do I have my brakes again, you know, and is it working fine? Well, I did this and the lever stayed shut. It wouldn't open back up. So there was a problem with, like, the brake lever would close up like this. Like I could do this, but then it wouldn't open back up. And it was just sitting up by the grip. So then I looked online, and apparently the valve system in here can go bad. And SRAM says it's because the tip of the plastic piston can expand due to heat. Well, it was 39 degrees in the shop yesterday morning whenever I'm fiddling with the bike. So I really doubt it was heat. It's 39 degrees Fahrenheit in the shop yesterday. So I don't think it was the heat component of their explanation that was causing this. So I looked online, and SRAM has a rebuild kit that you can get for your bike. And so I think it's for the RS. They have one for like the RSV version. I've got the Guide RS model brake levers. So it is about, I think the Planet Cyclery has the rebuild kit for, I think it's $15. And it comes with the piston, a couple springs, some other pieces, brand new O-rings in there. So this morning I came out, and the lever's almost working right. Almost. It kind of hangs right there. It's a slow return right there. See that? It's still moving. Whereas when I do the other lever is, when I let off of it, it is where it's supposed to be. So there's a problem with the brake lever. So I'm going to get the brake lever rebuild kit from Planet Cyclery. It's about $15. I think the DOT5 hydraulic fluid for these brake systems is about $8 for like 4 ounces, something like that. So I'll get some of that too, and then that'll be a future project. So right now the fat tire bicycle riding is kind of put on hold right now, and then instead I'll have to dig over there and get Jenny the 29er out and kind of go through Jenny and make sure that that bike is all up and running and good to go. But yeah, if you happen to have a SRAM Guide RS, RSV, or I think there's a few SRAM hydraulic brake systems that have this problem. I've seen the rebuild kits. And I've seen people talking about the RSV and also the RS, and there was another model. And I think once you go past like 1 or 2, 3's too many. So if you just might want to check it out. Like, hey, do I have a SRAM hydraulic brake system? If I do, I might want to get it checked out, because having your brakes fail isn't the best. It's, I would probably say that's probably one of the worst things to have happen without having like a structural component just breaking on you mid ride. But I think if the brakes fail and you need the brakes, that's going to be a real hamper on the day. Man, I couldn't even imagine like that thing would just lock up on me or just fail entirely, like there was no brakes at all, and just you're out on trails and you're going down hills and you're going up hills and you're crossing streams, and it might be a big deal. It might turn out to be a big deal for you. Unfortunately, that wouldn't be fun. So anyhow, yeah, I just wanted everyone else to know that I didn't know this, that it's a thing. And if you didn't know that it's a thing also, it's a thing. So you might want to get checked out. I'll be rebuilding mine pretty soon here. And just have to order in the parts. Parts take a little bit to get in, and then I'll start to do a tear down and a rebuild of the thing. We'll do a video on it. Just a little quick short, hey, just in case you got one of these, you might want to get checked out kind of video. And have a good day, and I'll see you later.